Welcome to the channel for growth. Well, have you ever looked at someone and thought, they're just naturally smart? The way they speak, the way they solve problems, the way they think ahead. It almost feels like they were born with a special brain. But here's something powerful you need to understand. Intelligence is not just a gift, it is a practice. Yes, genetics play a role. Yes, some people may start ahead. But the brain is not a fixed machine. It is a living, changing, adaptable system. And the habits you repeat every single day either sharpen your mind or slowly dull it. Today, we're not talking about complicated science. We're talking about simple, practical habits, the kind that anyone can start, that gradually increase your IQ, strengthen your thinking, and make you mentally sharper over time. Because becoming smarter is not about looking smart, it's about training your brain. Let's begin with one of the most powerful habits of all. The first habit is deep reading. Not scrolling, not jumping from headline to headline, real reading. Books that challenge you, books that stretch your understanding. When you read deeply, your brain is forced to imagine, connect ideas, analyze arguments, and hold information in memory. That mental effort builds neural connections. Every time you read something difficult and try to understand it, your brain grows stronger. It's like lifting weights, but for your mind. People who read regularly don't just gain knowledge. They improve focus, vocabulary, comprehension, and critical thinking. And those skills directly raise your intellectual ability. The second habit is asking better questions. Smart people are not just people who know a lot. They are people who are curious. They don't accept information blindly. They ask, why? How? What if? What's the opposite perspective? When you question things, your brain moves from passive mode to active mode. Instead of receiving information, you begin analyzing it. That shift strengthens reasoning skills. Make it a habit to question what you hear, question what you believe, question your own assumptions. Curiosity stretches intelligence. The third habit is learning something new consistently. Your brain loves novelty. When you learn a new language, a new skill, a musical instrument, coding, public speaking, or even cooking techniques, you activate different areas of your brain. The more diverse the stimulation, the stronger your cognitive flexibility. Cognitive flexibility is the ability to switch between ideas, adapt to new situations, and think creatively. And that flexibility is a key component of high intelligence. If you do the same things every day, your brain becomes efficient, but not necessarily smarter. But when you challenge it with new learning, you force growth. The fourth habit is deliberate thinking time. Most people are busy, very busy, but being busy does not mean thinking deeply. In fact, constant noise and distraction reduce thinking quality. Intelligent people schedule time to think. They sit quietly. They reflect. They process ideas. They analyze decisions. They replay conversations. They ask themselves what could be improved. Deep thinking strengthens problem-solving ability. It improves decision-making. It sharpens awareness. Even 15 to 20 minutes of quiet thinking each day can dramatically improve mental clarity. The fifth habit is solving problems intentionally. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks, smart people lean into them. They treat challenges like puzzles. When something is hard, they don't immediately give up. They break it down. Every time you struggle through a problem instead of escaping it, your brain builds resilience. And resilience in thinking is powerful. Whether it's a math problem, a work issue, or a personal challenge, train yourself to analyze before reacting. Break it into smaller parts. Look for patterns. Consider alternatives. Problem solving is mental training. Another important habit is physical exercise. You might wonder, what does exercise have to do with IQ? A lot. Regular physical movement increases blood flow to the brain. It improves memory, focus, and mental speed. Exercise releases chemicals that help brain cells grow and connect. Studies consistently show that people who exercise regularly perform better cognitively. Even a simple 30-minute walk can boost creative thinking. A strong body supports a strong mind. Next is quality sleep.
Sleep is not laziness, it is brain maintenance. While you sleep, your brain organizes memories, clears toxins, and strengthens neural pathways.
If you constantly deprive yourself of sleep, your concentration drops, your memory weakens, your reasoning slows down. If you want to increase IQ, protect your sleep like it is sacred. Another powerful habit is teaching others. When you explain something to someone else, you are forced to understand it more clearly. You must organize your thoughts. You must simplify complex ideas. You must anticipate questions. Teaching transforms knowledge into mastery. Even if you don't formally teach, discuss ideas, share what you learn, have conversations that challenge thinking. Speaking about ideas strengthens intelligence. Let's talk about environment. The people you spend time with shape your thinking. If you surround yourself with people who gossip constantly, avoid growth, and resist learning, your mental environment becomes limited. But if you surround yourself with curious, driven, thoughtful individuals, your brain adapts upward. You start thinking at a higher level. Conversations matter. Choose people who stimulate your mind. Another underrated habit is journaling. Writing forces clarity. When thoughts stay in your head, they are often messy and unclear. But when you write them down, you organize them, you structure them, you see patterns. Journaling improves analytical thinking. It improves self-awareness, and self-awareness is a sign of high intelligence. Spend a few minutes each day writing about what you learned, what you struggled with, and what you want to improve. Next is limiting mindless consumption. Endless scrolling, constant short videos, non-stop entertainment, these train your brain for shallow attention. They reduce your ability to focus deeply. IQ is not just about knowledge, it's about sustained attention, the ability to concentrate for long periods on complex tasks. Protect your attention, practice deep work, turn off distractions, train your brain to stay with one task fully. Another habit that increases intelligence is reading outside your comfort zone. If you only read what you agree with, your thinking becomes narrow. But when you read opposing viewpoints, different cultures, different disciplines, you build mental range. Read science if you love business. Read philosophy if you love technology. Read psychology if you love sports. Cross-disciplinary learning creates unique connections in the brain. Let's also talk about reflection after failure. Failure can either reduce confidence or increase intelligence. It depends on how you respond. Instead of saying, "I'm not smart enough," ask, "What did this teach me?" Analyze mistakes, identify patterns, adjust strategy. Every mistake contains data. Intelligent people collect that data. Now, here's something important: emotional regulation. IQ is powerful, but emotional control protects IQ. When emotions take over, anger, jealousy, panic, logical thinking shuts down. Habits like meditation, deep breathing, and self-awareness practices strengthen emotional balance. And when emotions are balanced, thinking becomes clear. Calm minds think better. Another strong habit is consistent goal setting. When you set clear goals, your brain becomes focused. It looks for solutions. It filters information differently. Without direction, intelligence is scattered. With direction, it becomes sharp. Write clear goals. Break them into steps. Track progress. Goal-oriented thinking increases strategic intelligence. Let's talk about memory training. Memorizing poems, learning vocabulary, practicing mental math, these exercises stretch working memory. And working memory is directly related to IQ performance. You don't need complicated systems. Just challenge your memory regularly. Finally, practice gratitude and optimism. This may surprise you, but a positive mindset improves cognitive flexibility. When you believe growth is possible, your brain becomes more open to learning. If you constantly think, "I'm not smart," your brain stops trying. But if you think, "I can improve," your brain searches for ways to improve. Belief influences intelligence development. Now, here is the truth. No single habit will suddenly increase your IQ overnight, but small daily habits compound. Reading daily, thinking deeply, exercising regularly, sleeping well, learning continuously, reflecting honestly, protecting focus, surrounding yourself with growth-minded people. Over months and years, these habits transform the way you think. You begin to see patterns faster. You understand concepts deeper. You respond calmly. You solve problems more creatively. You communicate more clearly. And people will look at you and say, "You're so smart." But you will know the truth. You trained your brain. Intelligence is not a fixed number. It is a direction. It is a decision. It is a discipline. If you want to increase your IQ, don't wait for a miracle. Build habits. Protect your mind. Challenge yourself daily. Because the most powerful brain is not the one that was born gifted. It is the one that never stopped growing. Thank you for watching, and please like the video and subscribe the channel.